And as wild as he has been, when you start off wild like that, the manager is usually on the top step. So you become a top step pitcher, manager's always waiting to go out and take you out. 3-0. Although the problem here in Houston, they don't have steps. Terry Collins, the manager of the Astros, talking to Mel Stottlemyre, longtime pitching coach of the Mets. Buford hits the ball off the end of the bat, drives it deep to left field. May going back, home run! So Kile got behind and Buford took advantage. 1-0 New York.
You go 3-1, 2-0. No matter who the hitter is, his ability to get on base goes up so much more than if the pitcher is ahead in the count. So Damon Buford, it's his first home run of the season. Choked up, just turned on it. And that live ball that we're playing with now just carries right out onto the ballpark.
And the first pitch to Joe Orsulak is off the plate, ball one. So once again, Kile pitching behind. This is only the second batter of the game. Ball two. Oh, nothing will drive a manager crazier than that ball one, ball two.
Well, this young man does not believe in himself. That's his biggest problem. He's never conquered Darryl Kile yet.
3-0.
And he's slinging it more than he used to. He used to be more over the top.
They say he has the best stuff on the staff. Ball four. So the home run to lead off the game shook up Darryl Kile, and he just walked Joe Orsulak.
Well, the Astros, having lost their last 5, are not going to be very patient with him tonight. Bob Watson said he's got the best stuff on the staff. If I take him out of the rotation, where can I use him? I can't use him in the bullpen. He's too wild. He says it's a real struggle for him to decide exactly what he's going to do.
There's Watts in the middle up there. Bob Watson trying to pick up players to help his ball club, and Kile throws the fastball down low. So it's Eusebio going out to talk to Kile. Now this catcher is a guy that spent a lot of time in the minor leagues because he had trouble handling pitches, but the Astros are very high on the catcher, Eusebio. He's 29 years old. In fact, Matt Galante was kidding him before the ball game around the batting cage, asking him, tell me your true age, Tony. Tell me your true age. So he's got to work at Darryl Kile tonight as Carl Everett steps in with a 1-0 count. And he hits a rocket into center field, but right at Cangelosi. Oh, Cangelosi looked like he hurt his back. Mentioned Edgardo Alfonzo out of the lineup tonight with a bad back. Stiffened up on him playing on that AstroTurf in Philadelphia last night.
Well, you see him catching that ball. He throws it in. Now watch him. Oh, what is that?
That's a sign of a back spasm right there.
You got that right. I've been having a few of them lately. I know.
That's right. Rusty's in pain with his back, and you can see Cangelosi all of a sudden grabbing a hold of that back. Well, there's one man gone. The batter now, Jeff Kent. Kent batting .277 coming into tonight's action. And the breaking ball, which is nasty, got Kent to flinch, but it doesn't help because it's a ball. You see the rest of the glamour stats for Kent: 13 home runs, 38 RBIs. Kent's been to bat 303 times this year. And they check Orsulak at first base. A big dilemma right now for Kile is keeping a runner close, and he really has to focus on the plate to throw strikes. He'd be better off just rearing back and throwing that fastball first 2 pitches, but try to throw the ball belt high to the hitter. Get ahead of him. There's a fastball for a strike, and Kent fouls it off. So it's 1-1 on Jeff Kent. One man down. We're in the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. The Mets' first of a 3-game series. Mets winning 5 in a row. Bob Watson was talking to me before the ball game, and he was praising the Mets' ability to come up with the young talent in the minor leagues. 1-1 pitch, and that hits Jeff Kent. So Kile continues to hit National League batters.
That is number 12. And that's a frustrated group up there. The general manager and his guys, no place to go there.
So the Mets with runners on first and second with one man down. Darryl Kile struggling now. He'll take on Rico Brogna. Brogna batting .294, 14 home runs, 47 RBIs. Brogna takes a strike. Basically what he has to do is the catcher he has to sit behind the plate, give a target right behind the plate, right in the middle of the plate. Don't move to the corners. Kyle's stuff's too good. You don't have to move on the corners. His biggest problem is throwing strikes. Eusebio, the target in the middle of the plate, and there's a ground ball to first. Sims takes it himself. Runners advance. 2 out.
Sims deciding to take the sure out. It's early in the game, even though the runners will advance. If he makes a bad throw, guys will be running all over the bases.
About 2:30, 3 o'clock this afternoon, the Astros had Derek May, their left fielder, working at first base. Terry Collins, the manager of the Astros, was working with him. Also, Jeff Bagwell was out there helping him.
Well, they're hoping that Bagwell and Wilkins will be back at least for the month of September.
Jose Vizcaino steps in, batting .286. He's been red hot. He takes a breaking ball outside, ball 1. So the left side of the Met infield with Alfonso in the lineup doing the job. Vizcaino and Alfonso. And the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. Fastball misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes on Jose Vizcaino.
It's got to be very difficult for Collins. His team, as we said, lost 5 in a row. Now he's got to watch this in the first. You know he wants to pull that trigger finger and loosen somebody up.
He caught a break right there. 3-1. Vizcaino taking all the way. Boy, Vizcaino doing the job again last night in Philadelphia for the Mets. Scored the first run of the ball game. Then put the Mets ahead later on with the base hit to left field. Mets sweeping the Phillies. Got a line drive, base hit into center field. 1 run will score. Here comes Kent to throw to plate offline. And how about Vizcaino? 2 RBIs. He's on fire.
Boy, and the fans here are very unhappy. The only thing that Kile has done is gotten behind the hitters and then come back with a fastball. And we've said many times, even Nolan Ryan couldn't do that without getting in trouble. Nobody warming yet. Here's Vizcaino. Right back through the box. Kile had a duck. Angelosi tries to make the play, but the ball starts tailing. And you see it up the line.
But Kile did what he had to do. He had to throw a strike over the plate that could be hit, and Vizcaino did the job. And Billy Spires, the batter now, takes ball 1. Spires batting .183. He's only been to bat 43 times this year for the Mets, has 7 hits. And he drives the ball in the center field. Cangelosi in pursuit, makes the grab. Nice play, John Cangelosi. And that'll do it for the Mets. But they pick up 3 runs here in the first inning. We go to the bottom of the first here in the Dome, and it's 3-zip New York.
7-8 record with a 4.01 earned run average. Rest of the story on Jones.
So John Cangelosi will step in to face Bobby Jones. As I mentioned, the big contrast in pitching styles. Jones more of a control pitcher, so we'll see what happens here as Cangelosi takes strike one from Bobby Jones. It's funny, when you're young, they tell you got to throw hard to pitch in the big leagues. Well, Jones doesn't. He misses with the curveball outside, 1-1. He changes speeds very well, and of course he has a terrific curveball. He told me he cannot tell people how to change speeds. It's just a natural thing. He worked on it with his dad. And he loops the ball down the left field line, out of play. His curveball, when he first came up, Jones threw the curveball right over the top. He still throws a lot of them over to the top, but he's been working with Greg Pavlik to break it away from the right-handed hitters. And the reason is, occasionally he'll throw across his body. When you throw across your body, you tend to hang that curveball to right-handers. Fastball is fouled out of play, so it's 1-2 on John Cangelosi. Bobby Jones is ranked third in the National League with 141 innings pitched and is tied for second in games started with 21. 1-2 pitch, check swing. Spires. Brogna just got it. One down. Now, I mentioned those two stats that Bobby Jones has. A lot of people think, well, he pitches a lot of innings, he pitches a lot of games, and that's important. But Rusty, I still think you can pitch a lot of innings and you pitch a lot of games. You still have to win a lot of games to feel good personally.
Well, there's no doubt winning is everything for a pitcher. You can hear all the great things you want to hear, but let's check this defense out.
You got Brogna, Kent, Vizcaino, and Spires in the infield. Orsulak, Buford, and Everett in the outfield, Stinnett behind the plate. Craig Biggio steps in to face Bobby Jones with one man gone here in the first inning. He takes outside ball one. Now Biggio's batting .304. He's been to bat 369 times. He has 17 home runs, 58 RBIs. He has 18 stolen bases. And because of the baseball situation, the Astros might end up losing Craig Biggio next year. They have yet to sign him to a long-term deal. The owner of the Astros has told Bob Watson, we can't do anything until the climate is settled in baseball. So therefore, because of the unsettling climate, Biggio might not be an Astro next year, and you're looking at one of the best second basemen, if not the best all-around second baseman in the National League.
And the people in Houston do love him. They really, it's one of the few players they really identify with here in Houston.
Up high, ball four. She's looking at Craig Biggio, went to Seton Hall. How about John Valentin, 20 home runs with the Red Sox. Mo Vaughn with the Red Sox tearing up the American League. All three of those guys played at Seton Hall together. And Matt Galante's son, who's in town visiting Matt, of course his dad is a St. John's graduate, was getting on Biggio. He said, 3 of you guys on the same team and you couldn't even make it to the College World Series. Spoken like a graduate of St. John's.
Get that right.
Well, Derek Bell, the batter. Bell batting .329. He takes up high ball one. He has 7 home runs and 79 RBIs. Rusty talked about his home run output. It's not what it was, but he has gone for base hits. He wants that high average, and he has spread out. He really spreads out with 2 strikes. Right back up the middle, base hit. Buford comes up throwing. Biggio on his way to third. He's safe. So Bell on first. Biggio on third. One man out here in the first for the Astros.
We talked about the struggles of Kile. Bobby Jones has been fighting himself a little bit. The ball right back through the box. He could not get the glove back behind himself on the right side to pick up that ball. Jones himself has had trouble staying on top of the batters as much as he used to.
The batter Derek May swings over a fastball, so it's 0-1 on May, who's batting .280, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. Derek May is he bats fourth in the lineup, but he's really not a fourth place hitter. He doesn't hit with power, never has, even as a member of the Cubs.
Seemed like he had more power more often to the opposite field than he did pulling the ball.
Same type hitter as Dave Magadan.
Except he's a lot bigger. He's big.
Oh, yeah. That can hurt his career because they see he's that big. There goes Bell. Good jump off first. Throw to second, not in time. So the Astros are running ball club now with runners on second and third and one man out here in the first.
The 109th stolen base for the Astros this year.
You know, talking about Derek May, he's a real big guy, about 6'4", 6'5", 235 pounds. The reason it hurts him is after a while you see him so much, if you're a member of his organization, you say he's going to hit with power sooner or later. He hits a ground ball to short. Vizcaíno to Brogna, one down. Biggio scores, so it's 3-1 New York.
And that stolen base got the Astros that run because that was double play written all over it.
And Derek Bell, because of the stolen base and the ground ball, moves to third. So 2 men are out. It'll bring to the plate of the catcher, Tony Eusebio. There's the line score, 3-1. Mets on top of the Astros.
That was Biggio's 58th walk of the year before he came around and scored.
Eusebio takes outside, ball one. I mentioned his average. He also has 4 home runs, 44 RBIs. Astros are very high on him. He spent a lot of years in their minor league system, and Rusty, I'm surprised because he looks pretty good as he takes a breaking ball for a strike. 1-1.
Well, they've struggled with Wilkins being injured. They've tried different people, and Eusebio's the guy that came to play. He's really got a chance, and he's taken advantage of it.
He almost took one in the head right there, the breaking ball. 2-1 on Eusebio.
Jones has struggled with that curveball that gets away from him, as that one does, and that's right over the head and the bat and everything of the catcher.
He takes a big rip there. It's 2-2. 3-1 New York on top of Houston. 2 hits for New York, 1 for Houston. We're in the bottom of the first inning.
Runner at third, 2 men out, 2 strikes on the hitter. He should try to make some contact and not overswing.
Down low. Eusebio reminds me a lot of Rico Cardi with the bat in his hand. Now he hasn't had the production of a Rico Cardi. Cardi had a great career, but just the way he stands at the plate.
Well, Rico would actually choke up when he got 2 strikes on him.
Eusebio hits a line drive, 1 hopper in the right field, and that's a big RBI. 2-out RBI.
2 out and 2 strike RBI. That is good hitting. We talk about shortening up. It means mentally not overswinging and moving wherever the ball is pitched, not trying to do too much with it. He's under control, hits the ball the other way.
A good swing right there. 29 years old. Spent about 8 years in the minor leagues with the Astros. Finally got an opportunity this year and took advantage of it. 3-2 right now. The Mets on top of the Astros. And the batter, the ex-Met Dave Magadan, who takes up high, ball 1. Magadan batting .276, 1 home run, 26 RBIs. Talked about him similar to Derek May. They usually hit for pretty good average, not very much power. Fastball's taken for a strike. It's 1-1. Talking about power, the Astros power hitter is due back in about 3 weeks, Jeff Bagwell. Fastball misses inside. 2-1. If you look at Jeff Bagwell's stats in the minor leagues, his best year as far as home runs were concerned, 4. Down low, 3-1. When the Astros picked up Bagwell, they said we're getting a decent hitter. He'll hit for average, driving some runs, but he really won't hit many home runs. But Bagwell, Jeff Bagwell, who's injured, turned around and hit a lot of home runs as Dave Magadan takes up high. Ball 4. So Bobby Jones walking Magadan.
It's his second walk. As I said, he has struggled with his timing and his delivery all year long. Again, we don't know if something is, we don't always hear if something's wrong with a pitcher. But Bobby Jones has been erratic as you can be. Every once in a while he jerks up a great game, but for the most part he's had to battle his way to all his victories.
Well, as I mentioned, his record this season 7-8, last year 12-7. He's usually a control pitcher, but right here he's in a jam. Mets gave him a 3-run lead. The Astros have come back here in the bottom of the first, picking up 2. Mike Sims will be the batter. Sims batting .292, 1 home run, 4 RBIs. He's playing first base. It's on top of this one. Spires goes to second for the force. That'll do it for the Astros here in the first inning. They pick up 2. They strand a runner. We've played a 1 here at the Dome, and it's 3-2 New York. Astros are going to do something, try to bring another player here to Houston. You got to watch Mr. Watson, Rusty.
I agree, Francis. You know, in talking to him before the game, he indicated they were eager to do something else, but they didn't know whether anything was going to happen.
Well, Kelly Stinnett, the batter, takes a strike, so it's 1-1 on Kelly Stinnett. Bob Watson, the general manager of the Astros, going out and picking up Mike Henneman from the Detroit Tigers. There's a breaking ball, misses off the plate, 2-1. Last time we were out here this year, we were talking about Phil Plantier and that big swing he took. And he is a member of the Astros as Kelly Stinnett takes ball 3. And we had a split screen. We had Phil Plantier swinging from his heels and Bob Watson shaking his head. Phil Plantier is no longer here. Ball 4. So Kile once again working a walk to Kelly Stinnett. So Bobby Jones, the batter, leading the National League in sacrifice bunts. And a defense set for the bunt. Mets up by 1 run here in the top of the second inning. And Bobby Jones bunts the ball back to Kile, who goes to second, on over to first, not in time. So Bobby Jones, who leads the league in sacrifice bunts with 13, fails to get the job done right there.
Well, it's on AstroTurf. If this is on grass, it might have been a little bit different. It just comes up on the turf, that high hop, and that gives Kile a time to turn around, make the throw. Quick relay that time by Gutierrez, but just beat by Bobby Jones.
So Bobby Jones on first base, and the batter will be Damon Buford, who hit a home run his first time up into the artificial flowers here in left field. There are those artificial flowers. They try to grow the real thing, but it didn't work indoors. Down low.
In the beginning, they had a grass field here too. And it didn't grow when they painted the top of the ceiling. So you just can't grow those plants or grass or anything in here.
1-0 pitch is up high to Damon Buford. So now Buford once again up on the count.
It does look good what they've done, though.
There's the defense for Buford, even up all the way around. And the 2-0 pitch. Fastball's fouled off Eusebio's face.
Buford trying to get his second game. Watch this one. Watch this ball hit him right off the face mask. Oh my goodness. Got to check your cavities, huh? Knock the fillings out. He's looking at the dugout, said, "You call that pitch again, I'll kill you."
And a 2-1 pitch. Put in play back to Kile. He goes to second for 1, over to first. In time, a 1-6-3 double play, and that'll do it for the Mets here in a second. They fail to score. Break played 1.5 minutes, 3-2 New York.
Don't miss the top-ranked women tennis stars as they head to New Jersey for the Pathmark Tennis Classic. Live coverage begins Saturday, August 26th, only on Sports Channel.
Well, this copyrighted telecast is authorized under television rights granted by the New York Mets solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Mets and Sports Channel is prohibited.
We saw Bob Watson there before, looking out on a ball field here at the Dome. General manager of the Houston Astros. He was a fine major league player. There's the line score, and Ricky Gutierrez leads it off for the Astros. Hits the ball to the right side. Easy play for Jeff Kent. Scored 4-3, 1 down. A lot of talk as we travel around the National League. People are surprised the Mets have a second baseman in the number 4 slot. It is unusual. There was a second baseman who I'm sure batted any place he wanted. He was considered the greatest right-handed hitter in the game of baseball, Rogers Hornsby. Darryl Kile takes strike 1 from Bobby Jones. Kile batting 118. Down low, 1-1. By the way, folks, tap the Rockies with Coors Light. Thank you, New York and New Jersey, for making Coors Light the #1 light beer. Outside to Darryl Kile. 2-1. Fouled back and out of play. So it's 2-2. When Bobby Jones was growing up in the Fresno, California area, his dad taught him how to pitch. He told him you don't throw the ball by everybody. You don't have that type of talent. You learn to change speeds. So he worked on changing speeds, worked on developing quite a breaking ball, and usually very good control. Fouled back again. So we'll do it again at 2-2. Fouled back again. At one time, this Texas area, years and years ago, was a big minor league area. Houston, Dallas, surrounding areas.
Beaumont.
Kile puts the ball in play. Spires charges on the run, makes the throw to Brogna. 2 down.
El Paso, San Antonio, Amarillo.
How would you like to take those bus trips?
Oh, the Texas League was a death league. I mean, they had 20, 22-hour bus rides. Get off the bus and play a double dip. I thought that was bad for the game. I really, what did you teach those young kids? Goodness gracious, you taught them how to be tired.
I'll guarantee you couldn't have the older players traveling in that league. As John Cangelosi takes a strike from Bobby Jones. Cangelosi grounded to third base his first time up on a check swing.
I was going to be in that league, 1963. They told me I was going to play in San Antonio, and I wasn't really looking forward to that. By the grace of God, I made it to the big leagues and shocked them, and wound up playing 150 games here with the Colt 45s.
Down and in to Cangelosi, 1-1.
For you folks that don't know who the Colt 45s are, before they became the Astros in 1965 and moved into this beautiful edifice here, they played in a little stadium to the left of this stadium called Colt 45 Stadium. That was absolutely the toughest ballpark to play in the history of the big leagues.
That's the famous ballpark where Ernie Banks walked out on the field and said, "Let's play 2," and then he passed out.
Second game of the doubleheader, they carted him off on a stretcher. And I never let him forget it.
Here's a 2-1 pitch up high to Cangelosi, 3-1. You know, it's amazing. The Colt 45s had to change their name because of the company that makes the guns. They didn't want them using that name. If I were that company, I'd have said use it as much as you want for 162 days in the summer, you're guaranteed the names being used in the media. Up high, ball 4, Cangelosi walks. What did you think, Rusty, when they changed the name to the Astros?
Well, they were moving into the dome with this base program so big here. Dallas Green saying something about space right now. It's that 90 feet space that he keeps seeing guys walk the first on. But I tell you, when this thing opened up, the judge had big plans, Judge Roy Hoffines, and because of the astronauts, this became the Astrodome, and everything just went out of here like, I mean, you want to talk about souvenirs fly. First game played here, the Mercury astronauts threw the first pitch, all of them, to the entire lineup. Talking about Wally Sherrod and Shepard. I think when they changed the name, mostly everybody was fine with that.
Because they were forced to change that name, drop the Colt 45s.
Some of the guys, particularly because they wouldn't have to wear that zoot suit they wore in 1962. They gave everybody cowboy suits, this bright blue cowboy suit, and everybody had to wear it when they went on the road. Well, they had some real hassles over that. Not everybody wanted to don a cowboy suit with a hat. I was kind of disappointed they changed that rule the next year. Yeah.
Well, Craig Biggio's the batter. He walked his first time up and scored a run. Batting .304. He can do so many things. There goes the runner. Biggio puts the ball in play. Base hit up the middle. Cangelosi goes to third. Biggio can hit and run. He can use the whole field. And when the Astros need power, they say he'll lengthen his swing and go down on the handle of the bat and hit the long ball.
Well, this time on the hit and run, he goes right by Jones. Jones just misses it. Vizcaino just misses it. Kent just misses it. Just threaded the needle right through everybody.
Boy, the Astros have to sign Biggio. It's a shame what's happening. If they lose him, that'll be a shame.
I agree.
As you mentioned, he's a popular player here in Houston. More importantly, he's a productive player. Derek Bell batting .331 is the batter. He singled to center field his first time up, stole the base, and scored a run. He wanted to hit that ball 100 miles.
He's talking to himself right now because he went after a ball that was out of the strike zone. Jones, it's up and in. Bell goes for it.
He almost fell down. He swung so hard. So it's 0-1 on Derek Bell.
Bob Watson's prize pupil.
Ball hit hard to short. Vizcaino goes second for the force. And they get Biggio by a quarter of a step. And that'll do it for the Astros. They strand a runner, fail to score. We've played 2, and it's 3-2 New York.
Saturday mornings have never been so much fun. Wake up to the show. METS. Join host Jennifer Giles for more baseball fun and games than ever.
Joe Orsulak takes a fastball down and out of the strike zone. Ball 1. Top of the third inning in Houston, Texas. We're at the Dome. We're playing inside, and Orsulak takes up high. 2-0. I would say it's safe to say, Mr. Staub, that most major league players, including a lot of the Astros, don't like playing in this dome.
I didn't mind playing here. It frustrated me as a home run hitter, but once I decided I wasn't going to be a home run hitter, this was a good place to play.
I said most players with brains. Just kidding. Down low, 3-1.
Look, it's your home ballpark. You better enjoy playing here. Honest. You have the AstroTurf to use, and now with the new ball, you can hit it out of the ballpark.
Fouled out of play. Plus, they've really changed his ballpark. Now it's 325 down the line. 400 to straightaway center field, 375 to the gaps.
You used to have to hit it all the way up in those red seats, all the way up in the red seats for it to be a home run. the first 4 years of this stadium, all the way up into the center field seats.
Orsulak hits a bullet. Fair ball down the right field line. He'll hustle into at least second base, and he has a stand-up double. Well, he's done the job day after day for the Mets. Right now we'll check out our Coors Trivia quiz. Which current pitcher is the only former teammate of Frank Robinson to remain an active player? Had to have some. It had to be somebody that played with Frank when he was a manager of the Cleveland Indians.
Yep.
Carl Everett, who lined out his first time up, takes a breaking ball for a strike. 0-1.
It could be Brett Butler.
I don't think Brett was in Cleveland with Frank Robinson.
Well, he was.
No, he's not pitching.
Oh, it's a pitcher. Is that what it is? It's a pitcher.
Outside, 1-1. Let's see who would have been in Cleveland. Oh, I know who it is. He was a starting pitcher in Cleveland and now is a reliever. 1-1 on Carl Everett.
Oh, Dennis Eckersley.
That's it.
Dennis
2-1.
Eckersley. He was a young starter with Cleveland.
Threw a no-hitter as a starting pitcher. Two and 1 on Carl Everett. Kevin Meininger, our producer, said it's not the answer.
I think he's lying.
There's a high fly ball, deep center field. Cangelosi in pursuit, in pursuit. Oh, what a play by John Cangelosi. Outstanding play. That's the second fine play of the ball game for the Astros center fielder.
I'll tell you what, I don't think you can make a better play than that. Full sprint back, over the shoulder. He sees it, and right in front of the wall, he makes the play, stops. Boy, oh boy, that's two just outstanding plays by Cangelosi.
A la Willie Mays, a la Ken Griffey Jr. Well, Orsulak tagged up and moved to third base. Good base running by Joe Orsulak. So he's 90 feet away from home plate, and Jeff Kent will be the batter.
Infield draws in.
Kent flinches on that breaking ball. It's called the strike. See the infield right there. Nice position to be in if you're a hitter. Got the artificial turf. There's the breaking ball again. Keep in mind, this guy threw a no-hitter against the Mets a few years back, and he had some nasty stuff.
Well, he has always had terrific stuff. He just has forgot how to win, forgot how to get ahead of people. And one thing Joe Orsulak has to stay alive on is this guy leads the league in wild pitches. You know, now's when you want to throw that great curveball down in the dirt, trying to get the strikeout.
The 0-2 pitch. There's a nasty slider right there on the black.
That is exactly what you called it, Francis. A nasty, nasty slider. Just off the plate, and Kent cannot hold up.
That'll bring to the plate Rico Brogna, who grounded to first his first time up, so he's 0 for 1. You know, it's funny, Rusty, you mentioned something, and I agree. Throw that curveball in the dirt. In a case with Darryl Kile pitching, I think he'd be reluctant to throw it down that low. There's a strike. Like a Doug Drabek, who's got good control, he bounces the ball, it's fine. But if Darryl Kile bounces the ball, everybody has a problem.
Well, I was more speaking of the base runner defensively being alive because he is so wild.
There's that pitch down the dirt, and that's a very good block by the catcher, Eusebio. So third base umpire Ed Montague called that a swinging strike on Rico Brogna. How about the umpires last night in the 9th inning at Dodgers Stadium?
Well, I was involved in the last forfeit that took place in the major leagues when I was with the Detroit Tigers during Disco Demolition Night. But last night, Dodger Stadium, I mean, you could have bet me that they would have had to call a game because of the fans in Dodger Stadium.
The 0-2 pitch, Brogna fouls it back, so it's still 0-2 with 2 men out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Joe Orsulak on 3rd base. The 0-2 pitch, outside 1-2.
If you happen to miss reading or hearing about it, there was a big strikeout of Mondesi. He questioned the call. He got thrown out of the game. Lasorda got thrown out of the game. They threw, it was baseball night, giveaway baseballs, and they threw them by the thousands on the field.
Up high, 2-2.
And after that had taken place, there was another close pitch, and the second time they did it, the umpires forfeited the game. They had warned him.
2-2 pitch, down low.
Oof.
No, I guess it was 3-2 pitch, down low to Brogna. Breaking ball. No, that's 2-2. I mean, he's not going to throw a breaking ball 3-2 to Rico Brogna. They're bringing Brogna back. It was 2-2.
Rico did not think that there was a strike called on that one pitch. He thought it was not a strike. He was unaware that the 3rd base umpire, Ed Montague, had called a swing on that pitch that almost got by Eusebio.
So it's 3-2 on Rico Brogna. Joe Orsulak on 3rd base, 2 out here in the 3rd. He did throw him a 3-2 hook, and he got him. A fine pitch from Darryl Kile. He pitches out of a jam here in the 3rd. Orsulak stranded on 3rd. We play 2.5. It's 3-2 New York.
Matt Lachlan back in our Game Time studio with this update brought to you by MetLife. Out at the stadium, the Yanks trying to get untracked against the Tribe. Carlos Baerga in the 2nd. Singles to right. Here comes Strawberry's throw. Way up the line, Kenny Lofton scores. Cleveland leads by a score of 1-0. Let's get back to the Astrodome.
Okay, Matt, 3-2. The Mets on top of the Astros here indoors. Darryl Kile striking out Rico Brogna to end the inning on a nasty 3-2 breaking ball.
Can't get the fastball over, but he's getting the breaking ball.
Derek May leads it off for the Astros. Bobby Jones, his first pitch is up high. 1-0. He drives the ball into the gap, right center field. It'll go to the wall, and May will head to second base with a stand-up double.
This ball is up, and May doesn't miss it. The high heater, he is all over it. Couple of hops, hits that pad.
So Derek May's on second base, and the batter now will be Tony Eusebio, the catcher, who singled to right field in the 1st inning, driving in an RBI. There were 2 outs, and he had 2 strikes, and he hit the ball hard to right field. Takes a hook for a ball. 1-0.
You know, the other thing about Derek May that has been a real problem through most of his career is that he has had so many torn hamstrings. He is constantly winding up on the disabled list.
1-0 on Eusebio. Foul out of play. Yeah, if you're a player and you're on and off the DL, teams lose interest in you. They start to question whether or not you can play with pain. And I'm sure him being on the DL was legitimate. Were you ever in the DL, Rusty?
Twice.
Were you? Was it a serious injury, or were you jaking?
Well, I had an operation on my hand, and then I dislocated one finger and broke another one.
That's serious.
I thought it was.
Eusebio hits the ball off the end of the bat. It drops in for base hit. Everett fields it and gets it back in, so Eusebio on first base with his 2nd hit of the game. On that single, Derek May had a hold on at third base. So Bobby Jones in trouble here in the third.
Eusebio trying to go the other way does get there. He gets jammed, but he gets lucky, and that little parachute falls in between everybody. That was a good decision by Matt Galante with nobody out. If he sends May, there's a good chance he's going to get thrown out at the plate.
Dallas Green looking on along with his pitching coach Greg Pavlik. The senior member of the pitching staff on the mound, Bobby Jones, 26 years old. That's a young team. Dave Magadan loops the ball in the left field. Derek May will score the tying run. And the Astros have runners on first and second here in the third inning, and this baby is all tied at 3.
You know, hitters that are trying to move the ball the other way, when they get jammed a little bit, that's a plus for them. They're staying on the ball. They're hitting the ball the other way. Everybody says, now this is luck, but this is not luck. Magadan staying back, and he inside outs that ball the opposite field. Take a look at it again. It's in. He just fights it off to the other side. That's just good hitting.
So runners are in first and second. Dave Magadan picking up an RBI. And the batter now will be Mike Sims. He grounded to third his first time up. Sims a big guy playing first base tonight. Tough shoes to fill over there, Jeff Bagwell. As Sims takes down low, 1-0.
I was talking to Bagwell, and we were discussing his initial comment about how he's going to have to change his stance. And I think he's retracted that mentally now. And our discussion was, well, how can you go away from something that's been so successful?
Of course, he had the hand broken 3 straight years. That's what's got him nervous. 2-0 now on Sims. But I agree with you. He's successful. He might as well stay up on top of the plate. Greg Pavlik going out to talk to Bobby Jones. But it's amazing, though. I mentioned it earlier. In the minor leagues, Bagwell, his best production as far as home runs are concerned in 1 year, 4.
It is an amazing story and a great story for the Astros.
Imagine a deal the home runs he would hit in Boston. I asked Bagwell. He grew up in New England, and I asked him about playing for the Red Sox. He said he still checks out the box scores, and that would have been a dream come true if he could have played for the Red Sox. Of course, he finds himself here in Houston.
That is Bird in the bullpen for the New York Mets.
2-0 on Mike Sims. He gets jammed, loops the ball in center field, and the ball's going to drop in, base hit. And now runners move up. They had to hold their ground to see if Buford could catch it. The last moment, Buford had to stop. The ball bounced, and the bases are loaded with Stros.
Well, Derek May hit it hard, but everybody else has finessed it. And that ball had a lot of hang time. You know, a ball like that you just figure is supposed to be caught. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. You know,
that's slow-mo.
That was a little bit slow-mo. It's right. Otherwise, it could have been the greatest hang time in the history of the world. It came from Baby Ruth.
Well, we're all tied at 3 here at the Astrodome. Has not been a good night for Bobby Jones. So Dallas Green goes to the bullpen, and this call to the bullpen is brought to you by MCI. Well, there's the line score, 3-3. The Mets and the Astros, 3 hits for the Mets, 7 for the Astros. Been a tough night for Bobby Jones, and we have a new pitcher, Rusty.
Yep. Paul Bird will come in. Bobby Jones, with 4 hits given up in a row, is out of the game. Francis, I have to believe that for him to be taken out of the game this early, there was something wrong with him before the game started, and he just tried to battle through it. I just have to believe that. But young Paul Bird will pitch, and he will have his hands full. This is his 5th game, a 1.93 earned run average, but the bases are loaded and nobody's out.
Well, we get bases loaded with Astros. Ricky Gutierrez, who grounded to second base his first time up, is the batter. Nobody out. We're in the third inning. We're all tied at 3. Gutierrez takes the breaking ball for a strike. And the 0-1 pitch. Down low, so it's 1-1 on Ricky Gutierrez. Houston Astros can ill afford to lose a ball game and let the Cincinnati Reds get another game up. They trail the Reds by 7.5 games, and they've played the Reds this year 8 times, and they've lost all 8 games. Breaking ball misses outside from Paul Baird. I should say Paul Bird. 2-1. Saw Bobby Jones looking on. There's a fastball from Bird. Gutierrez fouling the ball back. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Astros shortstop. Breaking ball misses off the plate, so it's 3-2. Nobody out. Got to believe general admission has to be happy. He's got the cannon. He's ready to work. Three-two pitch. Swung on and missed, and that was a gift from Ricky Gutierrez. 1 down. There's the general admission man. And which current pitcher is the only former teammate of Frank Robinson to remain an active player? The answer is
Dennis Eckersley. See, we had him.
Hey, speaking of Frank Robinson, do you see where the San Diego Padres are interested in bringing him to San Diego as the general manager next year? If that happens, Roland Heeman, the general manager of the Orioles, will move up, and Randy Smith will go from the Padres to the Orioles as their general manager.
This is like a trade of general managers?
Could be. Okay, the bases are still loaded. You're looking at the defense and the batter, Darryl, Kile. We're all tied at 3. Big at bat for Kile. He goes up the middle. Vizcaino tags second, over to first. It's a 6-6-3 double play, and that'll do it for the Astros here in the third. But they tied the ball game up. They stranded 3 runners. We played 3, and we're all tied at 3. Well, you see Bob Watson there. Bob talking to some of his co-workers here at the Dome. You see the line score all tied at 3, but the story there is Bob Watson was just on the phone, and we are wondering if Bob Watson will be consummating a trade before this game is over. He doesn't look happy. He just got off the phone. He's talking to a lot of ball clubs. He feels he needs help, especially in the offensive category, because Jeff Bagwell will be out another 3 weeks. So Bob Watson on the phone, Mr. Staub.
Jose Vizcaino will lead off the 4th. We are tied at 3. Vizcaino, a base hit in his first at bat, just keeps rolling along. His batting average now at .288. He dumps that. Foul, strike 1. Jose is making it tough for Joe Mack to make a decision.
That decision, I think, Rusty, has already been made.
Ball way inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
There's Joe McIlvaine traveling with the Mets. And everybody's talking about Ray Ordonez, the shortstop in AAA. The Mets are very high on him. We talked about Jose Vizcaino as a possible utility player. He can play a lot of positions, but he makes a lot of money.
That pitch misses. 2 balls, 1 strike to Vizcaino.
Remember, years ago, you'd have a utility player with the same team for 15, 18, 20 years. That won't happen anymore.
Vizcaino fouls that pitch off. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Same thing with those third-string catchers when they can last 20 years in the big leagues. Once the salary goes up, a third-string catcher is going to be replaced. Same thing with a utility player.
Yeah, it looks like that group of free agents that'll be available as last year will have a little tougher time than it was in the free agent market years ago.
Well, I mentioned Greg Biggio. This is a huge dilemma here in Houston for the Astros. They got the best all-around second baseman in the game. He works hard. He plays every day. He hits with power. He can run. He can field his position. And the Astros aren't talking to him.
This guy, reaches out, hits it on the fat part of the bat, but it's right at Biggio, and there's one down.
The Astros are not talking contract with that guy right there. And it's a huge dilemma. The players are concerned here in Houston. I'm sure the manager and the coaches are concerned. And I'm sure Bob Watson is concerned that he cannot talk to Biggio until the baseball climate changes. They need a new basic agreement where they put some stability in the game. Then the Astros can talk to him.
I think most of the players are aware that the climate has changed, and then until they do have an agreement, a lot of people are not going to be talked to. I think that's understood. I even think some of the agents, as much as I don't believe in most of them, are starting to understand that the rules are going to be different.
Well, it's understood. It's certainly understood. But they are very concerned about that guy. I mean, he's their most productive player. And because of the climate, he might not be with the Astros next year.
Well, they got to be nuts.
Really?
They got to bring him back. They got to find a way to do that.
Talking to Matt Galante before the game, he said Biggio goes out early every day and works at second base. He said he does not want to be just okay. He wants to be the best defensive second baseman.
Kelly Stinnett takes strike one. Houston has a lot of young talent themselves. Brian Hunter in center field could be a dynamic leadoff hitter for him, plus being a terrific defensive center fielder. You get a leadoff hitter who's hot, he just sets the table. Swing and a miss by Stinnett. 1-2. So Darryl Kile, who has as good a stuff as you want to have, has at least started to come back in this game. He was terrible in the first inning. That pitch way off the plate. Eusebio saying his prayers that there won't be another pitch out there like that one.
You don't see many catchers catch a ball and end up in that position. Now usually you glide out there, but look at this. What a night.
Says they made me do this in the Army. What are you doing? Push-ups. Ground ball hard right at Maggin, and the long throw gets the net. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the fourth. After 3.5, we're still tied at 3 apiece.
Rangers, Devils, and Islander players. This star-studded game begins at 6 and is presented by Continental Airlines, Lowe's Hotels, and WCBS-FM. For ticket information, call 718-507-TIXX during business hours. A per-ticket surcharge applies.
3-3, bottom of the fourth inning. John Cangelosi, who has made 2 plays in this game that we'll see on the highlight films this week. In fact, one of them is going to be our MCI proof positive replay.
What a play.
Check this out.
Cangelosi was back to home plate, catching the ball right over his left shoulder. Terrific play by the Astros center fielder. He's made 2 fine plays tonight.
He has grounded out and walked. And people say, why do you keep going to spring training without a contract? Why do you keep starting the season in the minor leagues? Isn't that terrible? But somehow this young man just keeps coming back up to the big leagues with a ball club. He's getting his time in the tough way.
Yeah, he is really doing it the hard way. But he's doing it. He's a 5th outfielder on a ball club, and that hurts. And again, once again, you get back to the money.
Ball fouled off out of play. Count goes 2 balls and 1 strike. But when you can make the kind of defensive plays he's made in this game, you really, there's a reason for people to want to bring you up and be that 5th outfielder. hits the net right down the heart. Catches the inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cangelosi. The Mets nursing a 5-game winning streak. Well, they left Philadelphia with Philadelphia in a swoon. They haven't won in 8 games. That ball right underneath the legs of Billy Spires. He came up. They always tell you got to keep that rear end down. He let it fly up and the hands come with it. And that's an error.
He was expecting a bad happen on the artificial turf. Of course, Billy Spires doesn't play enough to feel comfortable out there. He's also had injuries this year. He came up a little bit and the ball just shot underneath his legs, and he'd like to go with it. You see that? You see that glove? He's coming up. He came up a little bit too soon.
So first error of the ball game. That brings up Biggio. Ball thrown to first base. Cangelosi back. Expect Houston to run this whole series. They will be in the starting blocks.
Well, when the Astros build their club, they rarely build it for power. They build it for speed, defense, and pitching. Although Biggio has added a lot of power from that second base position.
17 home runs and a balk is called. That was called by the second base umpire, Greg Bonet. Let's see if we can find it here.
It had to be where he started and stopped. There had to be some motion, and he did it. There was some motion there while he was on the rubber, and then he stopped. The book says you can't deceive the runner. That's not deceiving the runner there. The rule book, I should say.
So the first pitch is out of the strike zone to Biggio. Nobody out, a runner at second. We'll see if he goes hard the other way or back through the box. Doesn't mean you have to give yourself up. It doesn't mean you got to try to move that runner.
He took a home run swing right there. Biggio is the type of guy who can hit the ball over the wall. He's got a swing for trying to get that ball over the wall. He can also use the whole field. You know, Russ, here's a guy that's one of your most productive hitters. I don't want him going the other way. And I know you don't have to give yourself up, but he's taken a little bit away from his ability by not being able to use the whole field.
I think he's got to do it. Here's a curveball for a strike. His team's fighting to stay ahead in the division race for the wild card spot. They're trying to catch Cincinnati. You got to do the little things right.
Biggio could be a number 3 hitter or a number 4 hitter on the club.
But he's not.
But he could be, and he should swing away right here.
He's got the league leader in RBIs. A guy who's hitting .330 himself, hitting behind him. Derek May has an RBI and a double in this game.
Then he'll have a shot at driving him in from second base.
Well, as you were speaking about that book, there's some things that the good players do, and he's a good player. He should make sure he gets that runner over.
He's an outstanding player, but you don't want a guy that's swinging a bat like Biggio to give himself up.
I didn't say give himself up.
Batting .305.
I understand.
Got to let him use that whole field.
Well, you and I disagree on that subject matter.
Never.
Beg to differ. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. Collins is hoping he's going to do something. With 2 strikes, you obviously have to defend the plate as best you can. And he hits a little chopper back to the mound. Throw to first, 1 down, and the runner stays at second.
So Biggio fooled, but put the ball in play, but right back to Bird. And Biggio, I'm sure, not happy with that swing. It was a defensive swing. When you swing like that, you're hoping to kind of foul the ball back.
You haven't seen Paul Bird. It's a pretty good curveball. It can fool you. It certainly got him that time.
It's funny, Bob Watson had a lot of interest in young players with the Mets. Said he has seen a lot of them and very impressed.
Derek Bell, the hitter, throw to second base by Bird is not in time.
Bob Watson was talking to me about Paul Wilson, and he said he saw him in college. He had him penciled in for his #1 pick if they had a shot at him.
Well, the Mets got him, and that's good for the Mets. That pitch way off the plate. Astros trying to break a 5-game losing streak. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 3-3. 1 man down, a runner at second. Bell at the plate. And he takes a fastball right on the outside corner. A ball and a strike.
When Bell came over to the Astros, he decided he wanted to cut down on his strikeouts and put the ball in play, hit for a higher average. And of course, along with that went a lot of RBIs. As we mentioned earlier, his home run production has dropped.
Ground ball hard but foul. Let's check out the Chrysler League leaders in hits. Derek Bell, 131, number 1 in the National League. You see Tony Gwynn, who was leading the league in hitting. Bell waiting. Swing and a miss. And Bird wins the victory. Strikes him out for the 2nd out. So Paul Bird gets his 2nd strikeout.
Here's that last pitch. Bird threw the fastball right by Bell. Bell had a good swing, just swung through it.
Derek May, the hitter. That pitch misses, ball 1. May doubled and scored in the 3rd, and he drove in a run with a ground out in the 1st. Cangelosi leading off at 2nd. 2 men down now. Line shot, foul. Someone in the seats snags a little souvenir. So the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. It's the net with the signs. Creeping inside. And he breaks the bat, just snaps it off in his hands. Play easy by Brogna. I'd say he got inside on him. That'll end it in the 4th inning. Astros strand 1. It's still 3-3.
This game is over. Stick around for Bob Papa and Game Time. You'll get all the scores, highlights, post-game interviews, and much more.
Stick around. Game Time is next.
The Sports Authority Game Time, tonight after the game on Sports Channel.
Back at the Dome in Houston, Texas. Mets and the Astros all tied up. Top of the 5th inning. Young Paul Bird will hit for himself. Shortest outing of his career in the big leagues for Bobby Jones. I have to believe that something was bothering Jones. And a line drive over Biggio's head. The ball is knocked down by Bell, and Paul Bird in his first at bat gets a base hit. They got to save that ball. Will they? They got to save that ball.
Nobody's thinking about it. Let's see what happens. Usually you get the ball
guys
from
are yelling.
it.
The guys are yelling now. So a souvenir for the pitcher. Damon Buford is the hitter. Fastball misses for ball 1. Four hits for the Mets, 7 for the Astros. That one catches the outside corner. Good fastball by Darryl Kile. 1 ball and 1 strike. Paul Bird leading off at first base. They're holding him on at first. Strike called. So the ball and 2 strikes to Buford. I don't understand why Sims is holding him on, but he is. So the 1, they're going to go outside with the fastball. It's actually a slider. 2 balls and 2 strikes. They say Kile really has 2 different types of fastballs. One he kind of cuts, which may be what that slider is like. And he has one that he tries to sink. They're going back outside. Buford pulls it. This is trouble. 6-4. He beat it out, showing extremely good speed. Damon Buford beats it up. So they're 1 down on the fielder's choice.
And Buford on first base says that his job is to steal second base, so he should be on the move. He has a green light. Now he goes out and pulls a fastball that's out over the plate. It's a ground ball. It should have been a 6-4-3 double play, but good speed beat the throw to first base. Buford told me that if he doesn't steal a base, he feels he's wasted his time on the bases. He's also concerned about the catchers in the major leagues. He feels throw better than the ones he faced in the minor leagues, so he has to get bigger jumps. We'll see what happens.
Well, he has his foot on the AstroTurf. That is what is normally considered a good lead. We've talked many times, Francis, about you have to be comfortable with the lead like that, because if you're leaning back to first, you're not going to get a good jump. Kile to the plate. Line shot by Buford. He's going to go to third base. The ball gets by Derek. Bell's going for it. They're sending Buford. He's going to score. And the Mets take the lead 4-3 on the misplay by Derek Bell. But a good base hit by Orsulak. He just keeps doing it.
Well, here's Buford just getting out of the way of the ball. Now the ball goes into right field. Bell stops it with his glove but runs on by it. He comes back, and Buford with that great speed scored easily. Strong throw from Bell but off target, and Buford scores. So Buford with good hustle. Ordinarily when you hit the ball to shortstop on artificial turf, it's just a 6-4-3 double play. Buford hustled to first, beat the throw to first, then he hustled on the ball hit by Orsulak, and the Mets stole the run.
Well, they certainly did. That breaking ball way down and in to Everett. They have not given an error on that play, so I guess they're going to allow that to be called a double and an RBI.
But you can't say enough about Buford, because a lot of guys hitting that ball to the shortstop they'd give it 3/4 effort going down to first base. Buford beating the throw, and I'm surprised he could beat that throw.
That's a big part of the game, the hustle. Everett swings and misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. He used his wheels. He didn't steal the base, but he's got to feel good about how he used his wheels in this go round. Stole a run for the Mets. Everett hits it hard. Orsulak rounds third. He's going to score easy. Mets will take a 5-3 lead, and Everett gets another RBI.
I gotta believe what Buford did upset the pitcher Darryl Kile and allowed the Mets. Well, Orsulak getting a big hit and Buford scoring on that hit. And of course, Kile upset with himself and probably upset with the defense not turning that 6-4-3 double play. But good hitting by Orsulak. He scores the 5th run of the game for the Mets, and now they have a 2-run lead. We really have to give a lot of credit to Damon Buford.
Mel Stottlemyre out to talk to Darryl Kile. The bullpen is active. Hart Graves throwing the lefty.
Well, what a dilemma for Mel Stottlemyre and Terry Collins, the manager of the Astros. The guy with the best stuff on their staff continues to struggle, Darryl Kile, and it's not physical. So how do you get to a guy with his type of stuff and correct whatever mental dilemma he's dealing with? It's lack of confidence. It's a tough thing for coaches to deal with. They can deal with the physical.
This may be a job for the plank.
Oh boy. It's got to be tough for Mel.
Jeff Kent. He was hit by a pitch. That was the 12th time, which leagues the lead, that Darryl Kile hit a batter this year. Misses with that pitch, ball 1. So the biggest part of this inning, as Francis Xavier said, was the hustle of Damon Buford beating out the double play ball. Now the Mets have 2 runs in. They have the lead. And it's 2 balls and no strikes to Jeff Kent.
You mentioned how Jeff Kent gets hit with a lot of pitches. The guy who's leading the league in being hit by pitches is the second baseman with the Astros, Greg Biggio. He's been hit by 18 pitch balls. You see Damon Buford in the dugout. Joe Orsulak thanking him for scoring, I'm sure.
The signs by Eusebio to Kile. Kent should get a good pitch to hit here. He's got to look heater. He gets it, but he swings at a terrible pitch. Easy play for the shortstop Gutierrez. When you're ahead 2-0, you got to have a better hack than that.
Could they have put the hit and run on where he had to put the ball in play? But 2-0 is it's a hitter's situation. You wonder if Dallas will put the hit and run on. Terry Collins coming out. He's going to make a pitching change. So Darryl Kile struggling tonight, giving up 5 runs on 6 hits, and a tough night for the right-hander Darryl Kile.
Well, as the change comes, his call to the bullpen will be brought to you by 9X. Well, Darryl Kile is out of the ball game. We're going to have a new pitcher in. We did talk to Jay Horowitz, and he says there's nothing wrong at all with Bobby Jones.
Except the hanging curveball.
Well, tell you what, he's struggling. He struggled a lot tonight, and they pulled him early. New pitcher, though.
Dean Hartgraves, the pitcher, 23 1/3 innings. He's on in relief of Darryl Kile. Keep in mind that Tuesday night from Shea Stadium in New York, if you can't make it out to Shea, you can catch all the action right here on Sports Channel, the Expos and the Mets. Game time at 7 p.m. and then first pitch 7:30. Shea Stadium, the Expos and the Mets.
Rico Brogna, the hitter, facing the left-hander. Swing and a miss at a curveball, strike 1. So the Mets with 2 runs in the top of the 5th inning are leading by 2, 5-3. 2 men down. Carl Everett on second base. Brogna facing the lefty. Strike called on a big curveball. So Hartgraves come in. He comes in with 2 very good breaking pitches, and he's ahead in the count. Sabio through the signs. He's going to step outside. And they throw this one off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As bad as Brogna has looked on the curveball, that's all they've thrown him. You almost have to stay with it. We'll find out what Eusebio does. And he gets a fastball right on the outside corner. That'll do it. That ends the top of the 5th. The Mets score 2. They now lead the Astros 5-3. Well, as you look at the fountain and some of the scenery here at the Astrodome, Mets leading 5-3. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Paul Byrd has replaced Bobby Jones. He is the pitcher of record. That breaking ball just misses to Tony Eusebio. Eusebio has singled twice and driven in a run. They want it down and away. And he hits it that way in the gap deep. Everett will not get to it, off the wall, 1 hop. And Eusebio will go on to second base with his 3rd hit in a row.
And all 3 hits to right field.
Yep.
Eusebio doing the job. The Astros very high on his bat and also his glove. Took him a while to get in the big leagues, but he's doing the job here in Houston. Rick Wilkins, who was picked up from the Cubs, is out with a neck injury. He had an operation on a disc in his neck, and Eusebio taking advantage of his opportunity.
It'll bring up Magadan. Nobody out. Magadan takes ball 1. Mets with a 2-run lead. That's the defense set up for Magadan. Doesn't have a lot of speed. Everybody pretty deep. 2 balls and no strikes.
Talked about Magadan before, how he takes that short stride and puts the bat on the ball. Tough guy to pitch to. The one thing that's hurt his career is his lack of production in the power category.
If you're like Derek Bell and you drive in a ton of runs, it's okay. But if you don't hit home runs and you don't drive in runs and you're a first baseman or third baseman, they're going to be looking over your shoulder all the time. Took Magadan a long time to sign this year. He was one of the guys down in Homestead. Right at the end, just before the season opened, he signed a contract here with the Houston Ball Club. That breaking ball in for a strike, 2-2. I think one of Magadan's least good points is that when he has a chance to drive runs in, he's very unaggressive. He takes a lot of pitches out of strikes. That hurts you. That pitch out of the zone, 3-2. If he could really fly with his ability to put the ball in play and get some walks, it would be a different scenario for him, but he is not fleet of foot. Full count. He fouls it off out of play.
We talked about Bob Watson early in the game. It looks like the Astros might have made a trade. He's been on and off the phone all night, and he's been in discussions with Tal Smith, who's the president of the Astros. He's also in that box next door to us. And Rusty, they probably made the trade. We got to go see if we can find out from Bob Watson who we got.
Okay. That ball also fouled straight back. Still 3-2. Magadan's tough. He can hang in there. You going to check him out, Francis?
Between innings, we're going to yell to him and find out if he tells us the truth.
If he won't tell you, wrestle him to the ground.
We're going to have to. We both played on the same team with the Watts. He's got to come clean.
He's got to fess up. 3-2 on Magadan. Eusebio leading off at second. Nobody out. Hard ground ball fair. The run is in. Magadan will get at least 2. Eusebio scores. Magadan stops at second. And the Astros pull within 1.
Well, it's tough to pitch to a guy like Magadan because he has that short stride and short stroke, and right there he takes advantage of Bird putting the ball in play and hitting the ball right down the line.
So there's still nobody out. There's still a runner at second. It's just that Magadan has changed places with Eusebio. Eusebio scoring the 4th run. Now Mike Sims the hitter. Remember, there's still nobody out. Slider gets him. Strike 1. The Astros had 4 hits in a row in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They scored only 1 run. That curveball just misses outside. So a ball and a strike now on Mike Sims. Astros have been averaging just under 20,000 a game here in the Dome. They can pull things together. Line drive, base hit to left. I don't think they'll send him. Nope, Maganin is held. Ball is cut off, so now first and third. Still nobody out, and Ricky Gutierrez is due to hit. Dallas Green, and they get that bullpen a little bit active here. Gutierrez is 0 for 2. So you're looking at Doug Henry towing the slab in the bullpen. He's on the line, Francis.
Watts is on the line, and we think there's been a trade made here in Houston. The Astros after a power hitter, or a hitter, I shouldn't say a power hitter. They want a hitter for their lineup. Of course, Jeff Bagwell will be out another 3 weeks.
Well, unfortunately, on that foul ball, a fan got it pretty good. Bob Watson worried about improving his ball club. 1 strike on Gutierrez. Paul Bird delivers. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I said, when you come to a ball game, boy, you have to watch that ball wherever it is.
It's amazing how the fans get mad if you try to protect them. They want to have a chance to get that foul ball. When they're trying to get that chance, if you don't keep your eye on that pelota, you can get in a lot of trouble. That one is fouled off also to the right side. Somebody bobbled that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hit him in a bad place, right in the hands. Bird needs a strikeout. Got a chance at it. Gutierrez has already gone down 1 time to Bird on strikes. They're looking down and away, and it's just a fast ball up.
How about the big guy behind the backstop? He's sitting in the stands, and when Bird is about to pitch, he starts waving. He's trying to do what they do in basketball, cause commotion with somebody's concentration. Look at him.
Let's check him out. Will he wave again? Yeah, he's got something up there. He's toasting. He should toast that curveball because it was a dandy. Paul Bird gets Gutierrez for the 2nd time, and the Mets have an out in the bottom of the 5th.
Here's a toast to Mr. Bird's hook. He said, Mr. Gutierrez, you're going to hit it? And Bird said, no, you're not. How about, he's been waving all night.
So Milt Thompson will be the pinch hitter. See the average, 213. 1 home run, 11 RBIs. He's waving every pitch, isn't he? He must have a standing bet with somebody. He knows where he's sitting. I'm going to wave every pitch of the game. Either that or I'm going to toast you. Or maybe he's toasted. I'm not sure. Milt Thompson. 1 ball, no strikes. Still runners at 1st and 3rd. That breaking pitch is in there for strike 1. Mets could get out of the inning with 1 hard ground ball at somebody if they turn that double play. They've done that once already with the bases loaded. Right now, only runners at 1st and 3rd. Thompson waiting. No longer. He fouls it off. Count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. As we showed you in the early part of this game on the opening, Houston Astros trailing the Cincinnati Redlegs by 7.5 games, but they're the #1 club for the wild card berth. 3 games ahead of the Los Angeles Dodgers. That one of the many lacking what would you call that? Is that Astro? Is that what they call them or something like that? Orbit? It's an Astro orbit. Chopper to the pitcher. They're going to get the runner at first. Very awkward throw for Paul Bird. Another run will score, and that'll tie it up.
So Dave Magadan scoring the tying run. Bird's first reaction was to go to second base, and then he realized he would not get the double play, so he took the sure out and got Thompson at first base. You don't double up Thompson on this play right here. So Bird, throwing off balance, gets Thompson at first, but Magadan scores the tying run.
So for the second time in this game, the Astros have come back and tied it up. The go-ahead run on at second, the guys of Mike Sims. John Cangelosi takes ball one. Cangelosi 0 for 2. Ground out, a walk. He's gotten on an error. And he has made 2 spectacular catches in center field. Fastball out of the strike zone. Paul Bird falls on behind 2-0. The Astros 24-24 at home. Now it's 3-0. They have played, and this is very irregular for a Houston ball club. 30-19 on the road, only 24-24 at home. It used to be that the Astros at home, it was tough to win here. This year they have struggled right here in the Dome. That is ball 4, so Cangelosi will walk for the second time in this game. First walk given up by Bird. Runners at first and second, 2 men down.
I bet you could count on one hand how many years the Astros struggled at home. They've had terrific home records. A lot of teams come in here and have died in the Astrodome playing the Astros. Right now, Greg Pavlik out to talk to Bird.
He said, I don't know.
And the Mets are going to stay with the young players a lot longer than they ordinarily would, because they got to find out what the young players can do. In fact, Dallas Green told me some of these guys don't even know if they should be in the big leagues, and he's going to try to help them get through that time. And Joe McIlvaine told me something I found very interesting. Even in the minor leagues, what they're trying to do with their pitchers, they're trying to make them think complete game. They're trying to get these kids to pitch longer and longer and longer.
Well, but I think they'll find that as they get to the big leagues, if there is a stopper, the managers are going to go to the stoppers. Kelly Stinnett giving the signs to young Paul Bird. 2 men down, runners at first and second. Strike called. And fans tap the Rockies with Coors Light. Thank you, New York and New Jersey, for making Coors Light the #1 light beer. So Biggio with a strike. He has walked and scored, singled, and grounded out. He's been one of the big bats for Houston. He swings and misses at a fastball, and he went chasing on that one. Good pitch by Bird. Both Jason Isringhausen and Pulsifer getting victories in Philadelphia. Reed Cornelius got a victory too. Mets winning 5 in a row now. That was Bird slinging it. That was up and out of the strike zone. You get down on the side a little too much, you let your elbow get too far out front. You actually get underneath the pitch. It's not what a pitcher wants. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They're creeping inside. The fastball, and he hits it hard and deep. Everett is back and near the warning track. He snags it. That will end the 5th inning. 2 runs in, and we're all tied at 5 after 5. We'll be back.
Years on in relief for the Astros. Got a feeling we're going to see a lot of pitchers tonight. You see his stats, 4-1 on the season. He's been in 48 games with that 1.9 ERA. He struck out 64 in 71 innings.
First pitch to Vizcaino hit firmly, but right at Biggio and a quick out. So top of the 6th inning, we're all tied at 5. One man down, Spires and Stinnett scheduled. Here's the big dude. Powerful looking guy. Flied out and the ground out. Strike called. It was Cangelosi's first very good play of the game when he caught the ball off the bat of Bill Spires. He drags the ball and it's foul. No comprende. Well, there's both Dipoto and Henry throwing in the bullpen now.
You got to look at the pregame show today. A nice feature on Dipoto on the pregame show.
Dipoto sitting down, so Henry will be the call if they pinch hit for the pitcher. 0-2 on Spires. Veers throws what seemed to be a split finger. Some kind of off-speed pitch in the dirt. Sabio with the signs. Ground ball again to Biggio. This time a little two-hopper. Easy play. 2 down.
Well, when you look at number 7 Biggio, it's hard to believe that he was a catcher throughout his college career. He signed to play pro ball, got into the major leagues as a catcher. They decided to switch him to second base to keep him quick. He's got good speed, stole a lot of bases as a catcher, and he's done a fine job as a second baseman.
He led the league in stolen bases, right?
He certainly did. Last year led the league in a strike-shortened season, stealing bases.
Kelly Stinnett.
In a future Halls of Fame show, I talked to Richie Ashburn. I couldn't believe it. Richie broke in as a catcher.
Well, that is hard to believe.
The reason they switched Richie Ashburn to the outfield is because when the ball was hit on the ground, he used to beat the batter to first base. And they said, you got that kind of speed, you're going to be an outfielder.
We got to use you somewhere else than behind his plate. Strike called. 1-2.
But Biggio, what a transition. It has been very, very smooth.
Watch Sabio. He's moving down and away, and he gets him to chase it. So Stinnett struck out. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 6th inning. New third baseman in for the Mets, Aaron Ledesma. So the dreaded double switch in.
They're going to announce that trade after the game. There'll be a press conference here at the Astrodome. We will continue to try and wrestle Bob Watson to the ground.
But we're going to have to get it out of him, aren't we? I asked Tal Smith. He said, I believe this one will come after the game, gentlemen, in his formal tones. Henry with his first delivery, and it's a strike. Derek Bell. He's got a base hit. He stole a base. He scored a run in the first, and he grounded out on a fielder's choice, and he is struck out. Kelly Stinnett on the inside part, and they jam him a little bit, and it's 0-2. So the Mets with their third pitcher in this ball game, Bobby Jones, with the shortest stint of his career here with the Mets. Well, I would say that's way outside. Paul Bird in, and now Doug Henry. Astros have had 3 guys on the mound themselves. We're 5-5 in the bottom of the 6th.
Ooh.
That time Bell just gets a little piece of it and stays alive. Lots of changes have taken place to this dome since it first opened. Obviously, they had to paint the top, and because of that, the grass didn't grow, and they used AstroTurf. But here's a ball to right field, shallow. Everett comes in and makes the play, 1 down. Let's check our GMC mid-game recap. Here's Everett in right field. Check this recap here. Buford a solo home run to lead off the game. He scored 2 runs. Vizcaino again RBIs. He got 2 of them in the first inning. Eusebio's 3 for 3. Has a double and 2 singles and an RBI of his own. Both starting pitchers are out of this game. There's a strike called. Both Bobby Jones and Darryl Kile had rough outings tonight. Derek May lines that ball into the seats. 0-2. May's 1 for 3 with an RBI.
I was surprised he wasn't re-signed by the Chicago Cubs. Homegrown player, they were high on him. The one thing that hurt him was lack of power.
Strike called on the outside corner, and May will take that walk back to the dugout. First strikeout for Henry.
It's amazing. Usually a guy like that, he bats over 300, puts the ball in play most of the time, drives in some runs. He'd be okay if he was about 5'11", but because he's so big, they expect it and demand that Derek May hit home runs.
In defense of that, you really should expect that when a guy's a big guy. If he's got good pop to the opposite field and things like that, you expect him to develop and be able to adjust and learn as he goes along in the big leagues to produce more runs.
Then you would expect a guy like Tony Gwynn to hit a lot more home runs.
Well, Tony Gwynn's not 6'4", 240.
But he's a big guy. I mean, he's not a little guy.
Well, I know you think Tony Gwynn is big.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Tony's a strong guy.
Yeah, but he's only about 5'10". One ball, 1 strike. Ball hit hard to center. Moving quickly is Buford, and what a play. Just gets it in left center. So the Mets make a fine play in center field, and that will end the 6th inning. We're still tied 5-5. Nice play. So Ledesma will face Dave Veres. Actually, Dave Veers. Even though it's V-E-R-E-S, he says Veers. You got about 4 guys with the same name. They all say it different. But Dave Veers leads off with a strike. Setting up down and away. And it is away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Veers has that real good fastball. It doesn't have much of a motion. It's pretty compact. Big,
strong, barrel-chested guy. Ball hit the other way again to Biggio. He's the wrong guy to hit it to. 1 down.
Well, we talked about Biggio before, and Matt Galanti told me Biggio's out here early in the afternoon working on his defense.
Let's check that catch out, Francis. That ended the last inning from Damon Buford.
Damon Buford going far to his right. And the last moment making the grab and sliding across that artificial turf.
Have a chance to use the stick again. He hit a home run to lead this game off. Darryl Kile fell behind, as he has done most of the year, on the hitter, and Buford turned on and hit the ball very hard up into the seats. 2 balls and no strikes. Takes that fastball. Good leadoff hitter does that from time to time, trying to make sure that if the guy wants to walk him, he gives him that opportunity. That slider's a good pitch. If you don't crack on that pitch, that's a great pitch to hit a long way. The ones that break over the heart of the plate that start inside, they're going to try to do the same thing, and he ropes it. Cubbage had to duck.
Secret to not cracking on a pitch like that is you have to see the pitcher a little bit so you're comfortable when he throws that ball. Initially, when you first see it, you tend to collapse. But if you see this guy enough times, you'll understand the break on that breaking ball, and you'd be able to hang in there.
Setting up, down and away. It's fastball. It gets up, and Buford swings right through it. So Veers gets his second strikeout.
High fastball. He threw it right by Damon Buford. And Buford not happy. Then he hit himself on the head with the bat as he walked away. Just overpowered him. Buford not happy, dropping the bat in disgust, slapping his hands together.
Well, he went chasing. Eusebio wanted it down and away. Just Veers went Powder River. No balls and a strike to Joe Orsulak. Orsulak a walk, a double, and a double. Just keeps doing it. Mets 5 runs on only 6 hits. And Orsulak hits it right at Biggio. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 7th. After 6.5, we are still tied at 5 apiece.
Home field, the Astrodome, and check in with Fran Healy. Fran, anything more on that Astros trade?
Well, Matt, as Dave Magadan takes a strike, well, we'll find out. Let's just Bob Watts.
He's not going to fess up. They're hiding him.
Hey, Bob Watson, who'd you pick up? Who'd you pick up in the trade?
He says we got to wait till everybody, like everybody else, right? Well, they're going to announce something after this game is over. The count is 2-1 on Magadan. He is leading off the bottom of the 7th. We're all tied at 5. Doug Henry on the mound for the Mets. Just misses, down and away. 3-1. Magadan a walk, a base hit, an RBI, a double and an RBI. So it's been a good night for Magadan against his former team. Because he's had a few teams of late. There's a strike. Full count.
Game Time will have all the specifics on that trade, I'm sure, tonight.
That is Jones in the bullpen.
He was their stopper and was doing a good job out of the bullpen as their stopper. Now they're going to use him in middle relief.
Magadan hits it again, but this time right at Rico Brogna, and there's 1 down. Maybe we get Bob just as the game's ended to give us the info. You never know.
Tell you what, he's looking over here now. He's going to run out that door.
He don't want anything to do with this anymore. We've been talking to him all night about this. Kind of had an inkling that they were trying to make another move. Their latest move was to bring Mike Henneman in. Henneman 18 saves and 20 appearances for the Detroit Tigers. People said, well, what'd you bring in pitching for? You need hitting. Having lost Biggio and Wilkins. But pennants and championships are won with pitching. And they really feel they need a little more of it. Henneman will certainly anchor that bullpen. If he pitches as well as he did for Sparky Anderson, that's got to be a major plus for this club. Because now you have the guy who was the stopper that they have to get through to get to the guy who is the stopper. Strike called.
Bob Watson did tell me that it's a hitter coming from the American League.
Yep.
He would not. I said, well, let me ask you another question. The Eastern Division, Western Division, or Central Division?
He wasn't fessing up. You
saw Henneman sitting down there in the bullpen.
This time that pitch is called a ball.
Boy, when Henneman was traded away, Cecil Fielder was very upset. He's been mad since they traded David Wells to Cincinnati.
That might be part of the reason why Kirk Gibson retired today.
17 years in the big leagues.
He was not happy with what was happening with the Detroit organization, and he retired. He quit. 3 balls and a strike. Mike Sims will look for the fastball. That is Henneman. Will anchor the bullpen.
He had 18 saves and 20 tries with the Tigers.
He gets the fastball and he skies it. Vizcaino drifting back. He's got it for the second out. So you wait to get that count in your favor. You get what you want and you hit underneath it. Stay with him, Butch. It'll bring up Ricky Gutierrez. You see he's 0 for 3. Couple of strikeouts. And 1/3 it away to another. Strike one.
Orlando Miller is their everyday shortstop here in Houston. They gave him the night off. Gutierrez just called up from the minor leagues. He's been around for a while.
Ground ball. Brogna standing right there. So 3 up, 3 down. 6 in a row for Henry. After 7 innings, we are still tied. We'll be back.
Well, there's the line score. We're all tied at 5. The Mets and the Astros here at the Dome in Houston. 10 hits for the Astros, 6 for the Mets. New shortstop Orlando Miller, just mentioned him a few moments ago. He's their everyday shortstop. And it's a double switch. He'll bat 9th. And a new pitcher, Rusty.
New pitcher is Todd Jones. See game number 46. 6-1 record with 12 saves. A 2.22 earned run average. And Francis, I can always remember how much you talked about that Cincinnati team that had 3 terrific relievers. Myers was their closer. They had Dibble, they had Charlton.
Well, that was the best I've ever seen as Jones throws a strike to Carl Everett, who's leading off here in the 8th inning in a tie ball game. Everett is 1 for 3. He singled and he swings over a breaking ball. So it's 0-2 on Carl Everett, who's batting .244. He's had a pretty good road trip, batting over .300.
We'll have a guy like Jones be the setup guy after being as successful as he was closing. Is a break for the Astros.
And Everett takes inside 1-2. Tough to keep the middleman happy. Todd Jones is doing the job as a short man. They get more recognition and are able to generate more revenue for their family as Carl Everett hits the ball sharply down the left field line. It goes ricocheting off the wall, and Everett with good speed hits second base and a big turn, and he retreats. So the Mets have the go-ahead run on second base here in the 8th inning with nobody out. And we want to take a moment to wish a happy birthday to a gentleman named Edward Bruno. Mr. Bruno, happy birthday. You deserve it, sir. A big Met fan, and he celebrates number 100.
100.
God bless him.
Well,
Mr. Edward Bruno.
Well, you and I don't have to worry about that age. We'll never make that one. But congratulations, 100 years old. What we do to these bodies, they got no chance.
You can only consume so much food for so many years. Well, Jeff Kent is the batter now with Carl Everett on second base. So real good speed in scoring position. The 4th hitter in the lineup for the Mets, Jeff Kent, unable to check his swing. That's a strike.
I think the most encouraging thing about Everett, Francis, is that he used the whole field since he's come back up. He has cut back on his strikeouts, put the ball in play. That's a key for him. He's got a world of talent.
The 0-1 pitch to Kent is down low, 1-1. I still think that Everett should sit with Brett Butler for hours and have him teach him how to bunt. If he ever has that threat with that speed, they check him at second base. He's the go-ahead run. And a 1-1 pitch, the breaking ball. Kent puts it in play. The runner will advance, but they get Kent going to first. So 1 man down. Everett now on third base. And this break in the action ought to be a great time to break for the great taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up and never let you down, so make it a Bud Light.
Well, Kent's not happy that he just tapped the ball, but he has moved that runner. Mets have a chance. They're going to get the drawn in infield. Rico Brogna have a chance to put the Mets out front. Any kind of depth of a fly ball or a ground ball through the infield, and with the speed of Everett, I'm sure they're going to have him be aggressive at third.
Brogna struck out twice in this game and grounded out. Swings at the breaking ball and fouls it off. So it's 0-1 as Everett goes back to tag third. If you just tuned in, the Astros will announce a trade at the end of the ball game. Bob Watson, the general manager with the Astros, told me he wanted to pick up a bat tonight. Looks like they've done it. And the 0-1 pitch. Line drive, base hit, right center field. Mets take the lead. Brogna on his way to second base, and he's got triple on his mind. He's on his way to third, and he has himself a triple. Good hitting, Rico Brogna.
Well, he keeps getting good RBIs for the Mets. We know he struggled and struck out a lot. He's got 78 of them on the year, a couple of them tonight, but he just shows signs of being a terrific hitter if he can just discipline a little better. This time he checks his swing and hits a rocket. Ball is going to go all the way through to the wall, and I'll tell you what, he smelled triple. He went for it. I think it's a little bit of a break because Orlando Miller here can't get the ball. It might have been a close play at third.
Now they're going to walk Jose Vizcaino. He's been red hot for the Mets. So it'll be runners on first and third when Vizcaino goes down to first base. And we're going to get a pinch hitter. Chris Jones on deck. So Vizcaino gets the intentional pass. Chris Jones will come up to hit. The Mets have a 6-5 lead. We're in the 8th inning here at the Dome in Houston, the first of a 3-game series. The Mets have been hot. They swept the Phillies. They've won 5 in a row.
They've done a lot of things right. There was that one period where they did so many little things wrong, but they have really fought well in this stretch.
And wherever you go now, people will come up to you in different ballparks. Right here in Houston, you get people asking about Jason Isringhausen, Bill Pulsifer. They ask about the young players on the Mets. Another guy they ask about is Reed Cornelius.
Yep.
Want to know about Reed? Well, Chris Jones in a crucial situation coming off the bench. And he's been productive off the bench. As you can tell, batting .438. He has 3 home runs. Batting .301, and he takes a fastball up high, ball 1.
Have to pay attention to the signs from Cubbage. You wouldn't expect a squeeze play, but Dallas has used it so many times of late. Everybody's got to pay attention.
And the 1-0 pitch, a breaking ball. Jones swings over it. 1-1. Now, when you see a hitter take a swing at a breaking ball like that, you tend to call it again. Down low, Eusebio keeps it in front of him.
But you were right, Francis. He did throw that same pitch again.
Now he's behind in the count. And on deck you have Kelly Stinnett. But you do have a base open at second base. I'd throw the breaking ball again. You saw his stats coming off the bench. Todd Jones is not going to pick anybody off right there. Tony Eusebio, the catcher, flashing signs to Todd Jones. Fastball is fouled off. So he threw him the heater. It's now 2-2.
And the way he hit it, I think he was thinking along with you, Francis. He's looking for that hook. That ball laid him up inside. He fought it off.
That's a curveball swing at a fastball.
Once you get 2 strikes, though, you can't be guessing. You can't even be anticipating. You just have to be guarding that dish.
Two-two pitch. There's the hook. It's a drive to left. And May's going back and at the wall makes the grab. But Brogna scores easily, and the Mets have a 2-run lead. So Chris Jones continues to be productive off the bench.
I'll tell you what, Todd Jones was lucky. He was ahead in the count. He hung that hook right up there. And Jones almost got it all. Would have been his 4th home run had he gotten it. Watch how high up this ball is. Right up at the waist, and that's a curveball. Derek May makes a nice little play there. He's right on the wall. But the run is in.
So Chris Jones being congratulated by his teammates, and there's the score, 7-5 Mets. Vizcaino back to first base on that fly ball, and Kelly Stinnett's the batter. Stinnett in this ball game's walk, struck out, and grounded out. And he takes a strike. Talking to Todd Hundley, and he told me that he's hoping to see some action in Norfolk when the Mets go there Monday. Unfortunately, he was injured in a collision at home plate. Missed a lot of time. It's tough to come back and be in the groove he was in. Curveball swung and missed. 0-2. It's like the Astros telling me tonight that they're optimistic once they get Bagwell back in 3 weeks. But he's been out so long, there's no way he's going to come back being that productive. He was in the groove when he went down.
Certainly difficult to come back swinging the bats right.
Ground ball, base hit into left field. So Kelly Stinnett picking up his first hit of the game. Vizcaino stopping at second base.
Again, a breaking ball that was not down. Stinnett able to go out there, reach for it, and just jerk it through the hole.
And now Mel Stoudemire going out to talk to Jones. I'm sure Jones not happy that the Astros went out and picked up a closer. He was doing the job coming out of the bullpen, and of course, being a short man, as we mentioned earlier, a lot more attractive to a pitcher than being a long man, unless they get an award like that Rolaids Relief Man Award, which will generate some revenue for those middlemen. Well, tomorrow at 10, catch Summer Racing 95 from Yonkers. It's an hour of great harness racing live from Yonkers Raceway. Summer Racing 95 from Yonkers tomorrow at 10 right here on Sports Channel. Aaron Ledesma, the batter, takes down low ball 1. Ledesma batting .267. Batting with runners on first and second. 2 men out here at the Dome in Houston. Mets with a 2-run lead, going after their 6th straight. Swings through a heater. 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off, so we'll do it at 1-2.
Tough role for Ledesma. Just when you're a young player and you're not extremely heralded coming up to the big leagues, you get an opportunity to play infrequently. Number one, it's tough to stay sharp. Number two, it's tough to impress anybody. All you can do is work extra.
And he did it underneath the stands tonight. And he swings and foul tips the ball into Eusebio's glove. So that'll do it for the Mets. But they pick up 2 runs here in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th at the Dome, and the Mets have a 2-run lead. Hey fans, come out to Shea on Saturday, August 19th and be treated to a Coca-Cola fireworks spectacular after the 8:05 Mets-Dodgers game. Don't miss the final Grucci family fireworks display at Shea this season. For ticket information or to charge seats by phone, call the Mets at 718-507-TIXX during business hours. A per ticket surcharge applies.
Kids, put your best foot forward on Wednesday, August 23rd. It's Modell's Franklin Sock Day. And all fans 14 and under at the 1:40 game against the Giants will get a pair of Met socks courtesy of Modell Sporting Goods and Franklin. For ticket information or to charge seats by phone, call the Mets at 718-507-TIXX during business hours. A per ticket surcharge applies.
There he is. He was here early tonight. He doesn't want to be recognized.
He's been dancing here for a long time.
Modern day Lone Ranger. And a new pitcher for the Mets. So Tim Bogart goes to third base and Jerry DiPoto the pitcher, Rusty.
It's his 40th game. 3-4 record, no saves, a 4.82 earned run average. There's the rest of the story. Bogart at third.
So Jerry DiPoto will take on Orlando Miller. Miller batting .262, 5 home runs, 36 RBIs. And a 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed, 1-1. Astros felt they were going to lose when they had to trade Andujar Cedeno to the Padres, but they felt they lost nothing. Orlando Miller, they felt, came up and did as good a job. There's a strike. 1-2 on Miller.
DiPoto has good stuff. Everybody knows that. It's been a matter of him throwing the ball over the plate, getting ahead of the hitters.
Way outside, 2-2. We mentioned earlier how the Astros have made a trade. They will announce it after the game. They're going to pick up a player for a player to be named later. So we got about as much out of Bob Watson as we can get. Or did we?
I think we got all we're going to get, brother.
We're going to have to wrestle him before he gets out that door to go downstairs to the press conference. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Miller loops the ball down the right field line, foul. Surprised they allowed DiPoto to have that string hanging off his glove. Here's a 2-2 pitch inside to Miller, 3-2. Now you can't have anything hanging off your glove like that.
Just letting it kind of fly.
That's against the rules.
You're very right.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. Foul out of play. Houston has 5 runs on 10 hits. The Mets with 7 runs and 9 hits.
First inning, 2 of the Mets that scored of the 3. Obviously the home run by Buford, but 1 was on a walk and 1 was hit by a pitch.
Three-2 pitch. Miller hits it to the right side. Easy play for Kent. Over to Brogna, 1 down. Bottom of the 8th inning at the Dome in Houston. 7-5 ball game. The Mets on top of Houston. The Mets going after their 6th straight victory, and then they have 2 more games here against the Astros, and back home to Shea Stadium. They'll take on those Montreal Expos Tuesday and Wednesday at Shea. We'll have all the action right here on Sports Channel. And a reminder, a great way to reward yourself after the game is with the fresh, pure, natural taste of an ice-cold Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. There's a strike to John Cangelosi. Cangelosi batting .338. I should say, yeah, he is batting .338. Grounded out, walked twice, reached on an error, and made 2 very fine plays in the outfield. Takes a fastball down low. 1-1.
He's just got to keep battling. Expansion is coming. They'll need another group of players.
1-1 pitch. Cangelosi fouls the ball back. Told me in an interview one time that it's been a battle throughout his career because of his size.
Sure. But the best thing is his defensive ability in the outfield.
I played with a guy who was short in stature only, had a big heart. Strong, tough guy, Freddie Patek.
Yep.
Oh, and he had a great throwing arm and was a terrific shortstop for the Kansas City Royals. 1-2 pitch outside to Cangelosi, 2-2. Two-two pitch. Strike 3 on the corner. See that ball run away from Cangelosi, but it caught the outside part of the plate. 2 down.
He's got a moving fastball, and he gets the call from John McSherry. Watch his ball tail as it goes toward the outside part of the plate. Cangelosi disappointed with the call, but the Mets like it.
That'll bring to the plate Craig Biggio, who walked, singled, bounced back to the pitcher and flied out. Talked about the Astros making the trade tonight. Biggest thing they got to do is sign this guy. And he picks up a base hit in the left center field. So Biggio 2 for 4 on the night. And he can run. Better watch him. He led the league in stolen bases last year.
He has 18 and 23 attempts this year. Astros trailing by 2 runs though, with Derek Bell the tying run. I imagine they should give Bell a chance to swing the bat to tie the game.
Well, they take pride in the fact they have real good speed on this club. They also emphasize the fact that they don't really have a lot of home run hitters. In fact, if you look at their starting lineup tonight, the only guy in double figures in home runs is their second baseman, Craig Biggio.
Yep.
Swung on and missed. Bell, who's been kind of meeting the ball this year, spraying it all over the field, going for the pump right there.
He swung hard a few times tonight, going for the home run. Once he gets 2 strikes, then Biggio can change his thinking. He's got to give him a couple of swings here. See if he can tie the game.
Look at those strings, huh? Hanging off the glove. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-2.
Boy, he goes after bad pitches both times. He really has helped Dipoto out. You know, when you're going to go for the pump, you still have to get a strike. You know, you try to start your swing to make sure you had that trigger going. Tough to hit balls out of the strike zone over the fence.
Biggio with the big lead off first. 2 strikes on the hitter. Strike 3. Bell chasing another bad ball. So Bell striking out. Astros strand Biggio here in the bottom of the 8th. We played 8 complete here in Houston, and it's Mets 7, Astros 5. Buford with a home run in his game, bounces the ball to short. Miller time. 1 down. Orlando Miller throwing out Damon Buford at first.
funny, since there have been some successful relievers that have worn mustaches, you see more and more of that. Guys trying to give that appearance.
There are two guys that stand out in my mind about the way they looked in the mound. One was the Goose. The other one was Raleigh. There's a base hit in left field off the bat of Joe Orsulak.
All I can tell you is that Roboski in St. Louis,
yeah,
he was one of the guys that really tried to be intimidating appearance, and his whole demeanor was that way.
Yeah, but the guys that really stand out, I guess Roboski would be one.
Oh, he was pretty good for 4 or 5 years.
I'll tell you something, Goose dominated for many years.
Oh yes.
And so did Raleigh.
Yep. Reardon went to the.
Yeah, Reardon dominated also.
He went to the full beard.
Carl Everett, who's 2 for 4, takes a breaking ball for a strike.
In fact, was it weird when he went to Cincinnati and they made him shave it off? It was hard to believe it was him.
Raleigh Fingers quit baseball. He could have gone to Cincinnati. They wanted him to shave it. He said, no way.
So that didn't happen.
Outside to Carl Everett, 1 ball and 1 strike. We have 1 man down. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Mets with a 2-run lead. First of a 3-game series from the Dome here in Houston.
Remember, Jim Kern went there for a short period of time, and he had to shave his beard off. I'll tell you what, he had as good a stuff as you ever wanted to see.
Oh, I know.
Wow, Jim Kern, he could bring it.
Not for a long time, though.
Nope. Got into a little arm trouble, but boy, I'll tell you what, fastball, curveball, he had as good as anybody.
1-2 on Carl Everett. Look at that stance. And he drives the ball into right center field. Cangelosi goes over, lost it, and the lights fought it, and made the catch. So 2 men around here in the 9th.
Well, it hung Orsulak up because he didn't know for a while whether he caught that ball or not. Finally, Greg Bonet put his hand up, said it was an out. But that was a weird play. There's the ball going out. Now watch Cangelosi. He's going to go to his knees. He doesn't really have to here.
So 2 men are gone, and Jeff Kent's the batter. He gets hit by another pitch. How about that? 2-in-1 game. He's used to it. Doesn't even bother him.
Forgive me for laughing. I've been there. I remember that one year I told you Ron Hunt got hit 50-something times trying to get hit. Here, Kent's got no chance. It's right at the back. He's not going to get out of the way. Well, Ron Hunt was trying to get in touch, trying to get hit by the pitch, and they had Drysdale working with all the pitchers, and every time they got 0-2, they knocked somebody down. So who do you think they went after? I was 2nd in the league in getting hit.
And the batter now, Rico Brogna.
Rico with one of the terrific hits in tonight's ball game. He put the Mets out front.
0-1 on Brogna. Strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes, and the Met first baseman. 2 men are gone here in the 9th inning. The Mets with the 2-run lead.
See, that's what I'm talking about. The discipline at the plate you need. It was a fastball. It was a good fastball to hit. He didn't even offer at it.
Foul out of play. Oh, and 2 on Rico Brogna. Joe Orsulak leading off second base. Jeff Kent on first. Pulled foul. So we'll do it again at 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch. Good pitch. Brogna hits it off the end of the bat. Skies at the left. Derek May makes the grab. That'll do it for the Mets here in the 9th. They feel a score. They strand 2. We played 8.5, and it's 7-5. Change, Mr. Staub.
Well, John Franco will come in and try to get his 15th save of the season. See, it's his 33rd game, a 5-2 record, and a 2.37 earned run average. Rest of the story for John, as we said all year long, the big thing for John is getting ahead of the hitters and using that curveball against the left-handers.
Well, he told us one night on a post-game show that he was working on that. He'll get a chance to pitch to Brian Hunter as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Hunter batting .337, 1 home run, 16 RBIs, and he can fly.
Well, the Mets have to be aware of a possible bunt here. Hunter's job is to try to get on. His team trails by 2.
Ball 1. And the defense for Hunter. You can see Bogart in at third base. Brogna in at first. This guy can really run. The Astros feel he's the fastest in the National League. Got a 1-1 count.
He just wanted to give him a day off. That's why he was not starting tonight, and Cangelosi was there. He's fine physically.
And a 1-1 pitch. Inside, 2-1. Looks like John McSherry having a little bit of trouble moving around behind the plate. John calling the balls and strikes, and he's one of the best in the business. There's a strike. So John just called a strike on Brian Hunter, and the fans let him know about it.
John Franco's got to know he got a break there, boy.
2-2 on Brian Hunter. Swung on and missed, strike 3, so Hunter goes down swinging. 1 out.
Seventh strikeout of the evening for Met pitching, first for Franco.
So Hunter strikes out. The batter now, the catcher, Tony Eusebio. Eusebio 3 for 4 in tonight's ball game. Takes outside. Ball 1. Boy, he looks good at the plate, doesn't he? Batting .333. I'm surprised he has spent as much time as he had to in the minor leagues. They said it was his defensive skills that kept him out of the big leagues.
Probably one of those labels that was laid on him that was very difficult to get rid of, Francis. We've talked about that a lot. Once you get one, you got to work like hell to get rid of it.
1-1 on Eusebio. Fouled off. So 1-2 on Eusebio. He'll be followed by Dave Magadan. Mets two outs away from their 6th straight victory, and Eusebio swings at a bad ball, and he's out of there.
Well, the Astros doing exactly what John Franco wants them to do, and that's to swing at pitches out of the strike zone. A lot of clubs have given John fits because they have not swung at these pitches. But the Astros very undisciplined in these first 2 batters. Of course, Hunter got a tough call against him, then went for the bad pitch.
So now John Franco will pitch to Greg Shipley, who's pinch hitting for Dave Magadan. They've been platooning Shipley and Magadan. You see his stats: 2 home runs, 15 RBIs, batting .255. Shipley takes up high, 2-0. Mets bench. Dallas Green looking at. And a 2-0 pitch. There's a strike, 2-1. Are you surprised, Rusty, John Franco is still with the Mets?
No, I'm not, Francis, because it's unusual for a club that's fighting for the championship to need a stopper.
down and in, 3-1.
And frankly speaking, when the scouts are looking around, John has not had the kind of season that would induce someone to really be aggressively seeking him. He's pitched better of late.
And a 3-1 pitch. Shipley puts it in play. This should do it, this guy. You know, the Brogna ball game over. Mets have won 6 straight. So John Franco coming in and setting the Astros down 1-2-3 here in the 9th. He struck out the first 2 batters and then got Shipley to bounce to short. So Dallas Green going out to congratulate his troops. There's the final line score. Mets 7 runs on 10 hits and 1 error. Houston 5 runs, 11 hits and no errors. So the first game of this 3-game series here in the Dome is in the record book. Once again, New York 7, Houston 5. And now we'll go back to our Game Time studios. Matt?
All right, Fran, the Mets keep the good times rolling. 6 in a row now for the Amazons as they defeat the Astros by a score of 7-5. We're going to take a short break here. We'll get you back to the Astrodome in just a moment. Still to come on the post-game edition of the Sports Authority Game Time. The Yankees doing some scoreboard watching. They saw Boston win a game tonight. Will they be able to stay within 8 of the Red Sox in the AL East? Find out when we come back right after this.
Want to live out a Major League Baseball fantasy?
Want to swing a bat and hit a homer where the big boys do?
Then join Sports Channel and Plaza Auto Mall for the WFAN Home Run Derby contest.
The slugger who boats the most home runs wins this Hyundai Accent.
To enter, just look for an entry blank in Newsday, stop by Plaza Auto Mall, or send a postcard to WFAN. Deadline to enter is August 17th. You can drive home from Shea in a brand new Hyundai Accent courtesy of Plaza Auto Mall.
And have your baseball fantasy come true.
Well, once again, welcome back to the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. Fran Healy with Rusty Staub. Final score 7-5. The Mets on top of the Astros. 10 hits for the Mets, 11 for the Stros, and 6 straight win for the New York Mets, Rusty.
Oh, it's great news. You know, when all the trades took place and everybody said the Mets are trying to, you know, they don't care about this year, it shows you what can happen when you make certain moves and give people an opportunity to play. Here they've won 6 in a row, and I don't think anybody ever expected that. And it's been a lot of people who have been sitting on the bench that have had a chance to come on now and really perform well. And one of those guys is going to be our Texaco star of the game, and that is Joe Orsulak. Joe Orsulak got 3 hits in tonight's game. He scored a couple, drove in a run, and just consistently keeps doing terrific things to make the New York Mets a winning ball club.
Boy, Joe Orsulak really has done a fine job. And tonight the Mets, it wasn't a clean, crisp game, but the Mets come out on top in this ball game. And one of the guys I thought was very important to this ball club tonight was Damon Buford.
Well, Damon Buford started the game off with a home run. Darryl Kile, who has not been pitching well, he's got great stuff. He pitched behind Buford. He got the fastball. He hit the home run, got the Mets started off on the right foot, 1-0 after the first batter. He's got a world of talent. We're going to see what's going to happen with him. You know, the future's bright.
And he has a world of talent, and he complements all that talent with very good speed. So talking about Damon Buford. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll tell you about a terrific play in tonight's ball game.